a world where a mysterious tower breathes at the center of its universe. A tower that grants the desire of those who climb it. We follow the tale of a young boy who wants nothing else but love. Our story begins with Rachel, a girl who is enraptured by the power of the tower to grant her wish. She is determined to climb it. So much so that she tells a boy named Baum, who has no one else, to forget about her. As she enters the gates, Baum is unwilling to live a life without her, and so his story begins. He finds himself within the first floor of the tower. He is welcomed by the caretaker, Hedon. Hedon explains that all who wish to climb the tower must pass a trial on each floor, the first of which is presented in front of him. Baum must get past the monster and destroy the black sphere behind it. Before he can enter, a girl named Yuri lends him a powerful sword called the Black March. As he steps forward, Baum realizes that there is no way through the monster glaring before him. It is then he understands the true nature of this floor's test, to embrace death and defeat the beast from within. After he is spit out, Baum continues to move forward toward the black sphere and attempts to break it. His strength alone is not enough, so he pleads to the sword for its power. The Black March assumes its form and is intrigued by the boy's resolve. She grants his wish, and Baum is able to move on. On the second floor, Baum is faced with a test of survival. Out of 400 contestants, only half can move on. He forms an alliance with Kun, who is intrigued that Baum has the Black March. Another contestant, Rak, on the other hand, attacks Baum as he is also interested in the Black March, but only to face it in battle. All three survive to the halfway mark, but a twist is added to the challenge. Contestants may only move on if they are able to form a group of 3. Rak is not interested in forming a partnership, but Kun and Baum ultimately deceive Rak into doing so at the last second. On the third floor, the test administrator, Luro Ro, mentions that too many from the second floor made it through. To remediate, Luro presents a side challenge, to withstand and pass through his water barrier. The barrier is infused with the tower's power called a Shinsu, which applies an immense amount of pressure on the victim. Those who are not worthy to climb the tower face more pressure than others. To the surprise of all, Baum is unaffected by the Shinsu, automatically passing the test. For the third test, Han Sung-yu, the director of the third floor, challenges them to find the right door out of 12 identical ones within 10 minutes. They are only given one chance to pick the right door. Before their turn, Baum's team is given a hint by a suspicious-looking stranger, stating that the surviving team so far only took 5 minutes to open a door. Kun is immediately suspicious and doesn't trust the advice. Inside the room, Kun tries to use his brain to figure out the solution, but no other clues were given besides the one from the stranger. Inadvertently, Kun is haunted by his past, when he was betrayed by his sister. Kun's trust issues prevent him from figuring out the answer. However, the group is saved by Rak, who gets annoyed and opens a door based on instincts before the 5-minute mark. And thus, the answer to this test was simple: maintaining a strong mind and taking a quick, decisive action even in uncertain situations, a quality that would prove to be absolutely necessary when climbing the tower. Luro then administers a bonus test where participation is voluntary, but all who pass it would be automatically granted permission to climb the tower without any more tests. Baum's group decides to participate. In this test, a team is given a crown and is tasked with defense in the middle of an arena. Challenging teams will try and steal the crown. The person wearing the crown must stay on the throne. While in the arena, Baum looks in the distance and sees someone familiar. Someone who resembles Rachel. Our story continues during the third round when Baum's team decides to participate. Baum wears the crown and sits on the throne. Several teams take part in this round. The first 3 groups form a temporary alliance and charge head-on together. Faced with Rak's wrath, none are successful. The next group of 3 teams take the same approach, but are betrayed from within. Kun cleverly struck a bargain with a few contestants during the second floor by magically placing them in his briefcase. By doing so, he carried them over from the second test to the third, unnoticed, with the expectation that the debt would be repaid. On the third wave, a more formidable opponent approaches. The masked fighter easily penetrates Rak's defense and sets her eye on the throne. Surprisingly, a contestant in a hooded robe parries her attack, and another hooded figure stands by Baum's side, stating to Baum that everything will be okay. She has a voice that Baum seems to recognize. He calls out Rachel, but the hooded figure doesn't respond. As the fight continues, the masked fighter finds an opening to charge at the throne. hit on the hooded figure reveals her identity. Bomb shouts out, "Rachel," as he dashes off the throne and loses his crown. He covers for her and takes a blow on the back of his head. The masked fighter approaches, when suddenly, a burst of light streams out of Bomb. The test administrators are surprised at what they witnessed. They have seen some who are strong with the Shinsu force, but they have not seen anyone become one with the Shinsu, like Bomb just did. They wonder if Bomb is a threat to the tower. A few days have passed since the crown event. Bomb has been in a coma since. Before he wakes, Rachel asks Kun to lie to Bomb that Rachel was never there, saying that they would become a burden to each other. Kun quickly realizes that she doesn't really care about Bomb. He agrees to her request. Not to help her, but to protect Bomb. After Bomb reawakens, Kun follows through on his promise with Rachel. Bomb immediately sees through the bluff. He asks to himself, "Why can't I be by your side?" He ponders whether or not he should approach her, but decides to give her space for now. The fourth test begins. Each contestant is given a separate challenge that's based on their skill set and must get a passing grade in the class assigned. Because of his strong affinity with Shinsu, Bomb is given the challenge of Wave Controller, one who uses Shinsu to control the wave of battle. During the next several days, all contestants work hard to pass their class. Bomb continues to respect Rachel's decision to distance herself, but in return, spends the time effectively, training in the art of mastering Shinsu while making friends along the way. Meanwhile, Rachel spends her days in isolation to keep her distance from Bomb. By the end of the testing time frame, only 2 contestants were able to pass. Consequently, the administrators present the final test. Participants will play a variant game of tag. There are 2 teams. Each team is required to steal the other team's badge or reach the end of the labyrinth. As the event begins, a surprising turn of events unfold. Betrayal. Deception. Murder. These become the themes that we witness from both teams. As only a top few would be chosen to climb the tower, contestants are incentivized to eliminate the competition as this would be the final event. In the chaos, all Bomb can think about is keeping Rachel safe. When he finds her, Bomb sees one of his friends, Ho, with a knife at Rachel's throat. As Rachel attempts to escape, Ho drives the knife into Rachel's back. Bomb uses Shinsu to paralyze Ho and runs to Rachel. As she is bleeding out, Rachel asks why he followed her, before she faints. He turns to Ho and asks why he did this. Ho responds saying that he was told that he could climb the tower if he eliminates Rachel and Bomb. But he adds that it wasn't the real reason. "The tower chose you," he says. "I am weak. I already lost everything before I started climbing the tower. I couldn't protect anyone." "No. The real reason is because you are strong. And I hate you." With those words, Ho takes the knife beside him and drives it through his chest. Bomb reveals to Kun and Rak that Rachel is alive, but notes that she may never walk again. Later, Bomb and Rachel have a chat. Rachel begins to cry asking why he came even though she abandoned him. "You were so weak and naive," she says. "I thought you were annoying back then." With tears dripping down her face, Rachel tells Bomb that it's okay to do the same and abandon her. Bomb, however, is unwavering in his love. "A shining ray of light," he says, "you lit up my dark and lonely world." Bomb says he will carry her to the top if he has to. The next morning, the participants learn if they received a passing grade. Bomb, Kun, and Rak have all passed. Han Sung-yu announces that since she was injured in the last test, Rachel has failed. In an attempt to save her status, Kun asks for permission to take the administrator's test. The administrator's test is a special test that one can take to bypass the requirements of the floor. After consulting with the administrator, Bomb succeeds in getting permission to take it. For the test, Bomb and Rachel are placed into an underwater Shinsu ball. They must simply allow themselves to be eaten by the blue monster, which will spit them out on dry land. Other monsters will try to interrupt the process. The job of the support team will be to stop the other monsters. Those who have passed are not obligated to take the test and put themselves at risk. However, many step forward to help Bomb in his time of need. As the game starts, Kun takes the leadership role for the support team and is able to defend against the horde of monsters, allowing safe passage for Bomb and Rachel. The Queen's mouth opens, when suddenly, an underwater monster appears. Bomb tries to attack with his Shinsu, but the monster has the advantage. The monster swallows Bomb. Rachel shouts out to Bomb and calls his name. The monster begins to twitch. In the brink of defeat, Bomb, once again, becomes one with the Shinsu force. He falls on Rachel's lap. A ray of light shines above. As they approach the top, Bomb says, "Didn't I tell you? I would take you to the top one day. I promised." Bomb reaches his hand out. Rachel reaches out hers. Until Rachel pushes Bomb off the ledge. In the next episode, we go back to the beginning and hear Rachel's perspective. She tells Bomb that the tower is calling her, but inside the tower, Hedon corrects her, telling her that the tower wasn't calling her. Rachel crawls on her knees and begs Hedon to let her in the tower. Through the same method as Bomb's, Hedon offers a test to see if she's worthy to climb the tower, but unlike Bomb, Rachel is only filled with despair, believing that it is impossible for her to pass this test. Rachel argues her case, but Hedon silences her, covering her in a Shinsu ball that hides her from sight. Hedon tells her that the true savior is revealed, when shortly after, Bomb enters the tower. As she watches Bomb pass the test, Rachel thinks to herself that this is too much to bear, that someone as weak and naive like Bomb is more worthy to climb the tower than her. After Bomb reaches the second floor, Hedon releases Rachel and asks if she understands now that there's an ugliness inside of her soul that seeps out of her. Rachel claims that she just wants to see the stars, but Hedon clarifies, saying that she doesn't want to see the stars, but that she wants to become the star, and that she yearns to be someone special. Hearing what she already knew, Rachel asks again, telling him that she'll do anything to climb the tower. Hedon tells her that he respects her bottomless stupidity and self-serving nature, and that he'll give her another test. If she can kill Bomb, then he'll allow her to climb the tower. She briefly pauses at the thought, but quickly recovers her thoughts and asks for a weapon to help her in her quest. Hedon provides a bodyguard who will not only protect her, but also resurrect her once when she is killed. As she watches the events of the third floor play out, Rachel can only think that she wishes for someone else to kill Bomb, interested only in keeping her hands clean. After Bomb saves her, it became harder and harder for Rachel to complete her task, but at the same time, she grew more and more jealous of Bomb, watching as he was getting everything she ever wanted. Hwa-Ri-Yun, who was the masked fighter in the previous test, is introduced as Rachel's watcher, as she warns Rachel that she'll never accomplish her task at this rate. She tells Rachel that she would create an opportunity for her in the final test, as we find out that Hwa-Ri-Yun was the one who told Ho to attack Rachel. Hwa-Ri-Yun and her motives are not revealed, but Rachel believes that she set up these events to help her, so that she can climb the tower next to Bomb's side without the help of Hedon. Han Sung is also revealed as an agent of Hedon, telling Rachel that the upcoming test will be her last chance. During the final test, Bomb reveals that he used to have dreams that he'll one day end up here with her. He tells her that when Hedon asked him what he wants, Bomb first saw Rachel's face, and then he saw friends, and as he revealed this fact, Rachel saw a vision of Bomb abandoning her as he walks away into the distance with his friends. It is then she realizes that Bomb has become the star that she has always wanted to be, and if she decides to climb the tower together with Bomb, then she will only be borrowing his light, and will never become a star herself. And it is then when she decided that she will become a star in Bomb's place, as she pushes him into the abyss. When she comes out, she tells everyone that they were attacked, and that Bomb didn't make it, before passing out. Later, Luro-Ro announces that everyone passed the test, but that Bomb's body could not be found. Luro-Ro then confronts Han Sung as Luro was completely oblivious to the ploys of the tower, but Han Sung only smirks, and claims that he didn't do anything, and that all the decisions of the events unfolded were made by Rachel. The group then pay their tributes to Bomb, believing that he is dead, and decide to fulfill Bomb's wishes to help Rachel climb the tower. Luro-Ro resigns from his position as test administrator, and decides to climb the tower to the 77th floor, where he may find out the truth behind Bomb's connection to the tower. We then hear Han Sung say that everything went according to plan, and that all the princesses of Jihad believe that Bomb is dead, as he sends off the group to the next floor. We then see Hua Riyun, who approaches Bomb encased in a ball of Shinsu. Bomb wakes up, and the first thing he asks is if Rachel is okay. Hua Riyun calls Bomb a poor, pathetic boy, claiming that he has the power everyone wants, but all he does is worry about a girl who cares about nothing else but herself. She tells him that if he wants to know what drove him and Rachel mad, he must climb the tower, for the top has the answers to all the questions he wants answered. Bomb gets himself up, and with a newfound determination, claims that the tower has nothing he wants, but that he will climb it, and will determine the answers to his questions himself.